So this is going to be a very special vlog today because we are celebrating a milestone with the 2003 Pontiac Grand Am GT that I love so much. It is so close to 10,000 miles. 10,000 miles. And that's pretty much my entire ownership of this car. 10,000 miles since I rebuilt the engine. 10,000 miles since I got it back on the road. It is so close. So today we are just going to drive and drive and drive until it reaches the 10,000 mile mark. And I must say, during most of the 10,000 miles, especially as of lately, within like the last year, I have not had any new issues come up with this car. This car has been absolutely phenomenal. No new issues have shown up. I mean, absolutely nothing. No new. So close. So close to a perfect streak. Now, it's not wet up here. It's wet up there, but a little damp, but not wet up here. Interesting. This was supposed to be a happy vlog. Guess not. Well, this was supposed to be somewhat of a celebratory vlog because we're coming up on the 10,000 mile mark. Thought for sure we were gonna make it to 10,000 miles without any new problems, but apparently Jade had something else in mind, because now we just had a huge puddle of water on the floor and I have no idea where it came from. So we got it vacuumed up. I got the air on for now to kind of get rid of the moisture. Yes, the air conditioning still works. What's this? Is this fresh? No. I have no idea. It was just a solid puddle sitting there. We had a huge thunderstorm last night. I mean, there was... the rain amount fell... There was a lot of rain. And as you can see, it started raining now too. I don't see any signs of the sunroof leaking. You know, usually you can see watermarks on the fabric. The sunroof looks clear. I wondered if it was leaking from up here, but I don't see any marks, and it's currently dry. I don't feel anything there either. So I kind of wonder if it came from under the dash, maybe at the bottom of the windshield. We do have a crack. Maybe it spread to a part where it's going to start leaking, but there was a huge amount of rain. Also, these Grand Ams and Aleros and Malibus were known for water getting into the blower motor, and it burns out the blower motor resistor. As of right now, I still have all of my speeds. So I don't think that is the case. But the only other thing I thought of was that windows should be up. Oh, that's right, the switch don't work. Yeah, the window's up. The seal over here was, you know, it looks a little weird on the outside, but the seat's dry, this side's dry. There's nothing, that's completely dry. Back there, completely dry. Just up here, I'm wondering if it was coming from under the dash somewhere. So I threw that rubber mat in the back in the trunk for now, and this is going to be something I'm going to have to keep an eye on. Alright, so for the time being, let's just disregard the thing with the water, because other than that, we are getting ready to celebrate 10,000 miles on the road since I brought this thing back to life. 10,000 miles that I've driven it since I bought it. And today I was gonna, you know, we're gonna film some drive shots. I might stop someplace and, you know, we'll do the whole commentary thing about the car and how it's been. Yeah, so close. We are under 100 miles from the official 10,000 mile mark. See that? That has to be at 458 on the end. 128, 458 will be 10,000 miles in. So we are not that far. Whoops. We are not that far from the 10,000 mile mark. It's a good thing I didn't wash it. I thought about, you know, getting it washed, but no, we're not doing that now. So let's go to the gas station, we'll put some gas in it, and then we'll just take it out cruising and reflect on 10,000 miles with my dream 03 Pontiac Grand Am GT. So the whole point of today's vlog, sorry, I got the windows down a little bit because I decided to turn the heat on the floor to maybe try and dry some of that up faster. Anyway, so the point of today's vlog was to really celebrate the fact that this $750 Grand Am made it 10,000 miles really without any major drivability issues. Yeah, I mean, I'm just happy that it's not really there yet, but hopefully, you know, I mean, obviously there's still time for something to majorly go wrong. The water leak, not necessarily a major thing, but that's definitely something now that I got to be concerned about. But you know, the engine's still running healthy. Transmission seems to be doing healthy. I don't know. I guess, you know, there's still time for something to go wrong. Hopefully it's not today, with more chance for rain. But yeah, we're gonna try to push to 10,000. So actually, it's a really nice day to be out here at the beach on the lake. Now that the rain has stopped, I figured it'd be kind of a cool place to start this whole story of the 2003 Pontiac Grand Am GT. Yeah, so technically we're almost at the 2-year mark also. Now I bought this thing in July. I think it was the very end of July in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Almost 2 years, and you know, we're trying to get to this celebratory 10,000 mile mark. Now when I bought the first project car, which I'm sure a lot of you know, the 2001 Pontiac Aztek GT, we only drove it for a little, just under 6,000 miles. It was like 5,700 or something like that before I decided to sell it. I only did it because I knew somebody who needed a car, and I honestly really wasn't ready to get rid of that car. But I did anyway, just to help somebody out. And then I got this, you know. So definitely had this a lot longer, or at least driven it a lot longer. I know the wind is kind of bad today, but it has so far been a phenomenal car for the price that I paid for it and for what I had to put into it so far. Yeah, it's definitely been a real keeper. And I'm going to be really sad when the day comes where I have to get rid of this thing. But I've always wanted one of these. You know, I've said that a million times. My aunt had 2 of these, and I actually took my driver's test in a 2003 Pontiac Grand Am GT, similar to this one, but hers was silver. It had a lot more options. It was leathered out and stuff like that. But I've always wanted to have one of these cars, and when the time came when this was $750, I decided to jump on it, and really haven't had to do a whole lot to it. Whereas the Aztek was a complete disaster when I bought it. Pretty much had to rebuild the Aztek from the ground up. This one, not so much. It needed engine work, tires, brakes. Gosh, that was it. A couple of electrical things here and there. And it has been a wonderful car ever since. Now, obviously, she is not in perfect shape. You know, she has the nice warm glow of the service engine light on. She's got a curling dashboard. She's got a messed up front end. The door's creased. Now I have leaking carpet. It's far from perfect. I'll tell you what, it's perfect enough for me. I mean, I can drive it. I have fun with it. I love driving this thing. This thing makes me, like, it brings out like the kid in me, you know, the 13-year-old who always wanted to have one of these, you know. So that is why it is amongst my most favorite car out of all the cars that I currently have. This one is it's at the top of the list for a reason, you know. And it's mostly been a nostalgic factor, but I genuinely have a lot of fun driving this car. So just a quick rundown at everything that I've had to do to this car since I brought it home. You know, I did the turn signal and hazard light switch, the left fog light assembly, the front bumper reinforcer behind the front bumper. Had to get a new horn and rewire the horn. Put in another Monsoon CD player because the one in there did not work. Had to redo some of the stereo harness, which was a complete disaster when I pulled the other stereo out. So we had to do that. We had to replace the sunroof assembly. Had to get 3 different relays, a coolant bypass tube for the engine, rear exhaust shield for the engine also. Had to do the Felpro head gaskets. So we did the head gasket job, which was the main factor of why this car was so cheap and why it was for sale in the first place. Along with the head gasket kit, had to get some new head bolts, replace the oil pump drive O-ring, get a new thermostat, new spark plug wires, 4 gently used tires from the junkyard, some cruise control buttons for the steering wheel, the driver's side window regulator clips and epoxy, which honestly turned out to be complete crap, but the window still works. Fuel pressure regulator, a vacuum line for the HVAC system, we had to rebuild the multifunction switch, which is basically the turn signal lever on the steering column. Had to get another refurbished Monsoon CD player. This time I ordered it from eBay and had it programmed to the car with a Tech 2 scan tool. We had to replace the passenger side headlight assembly. Had to get front pads and rotors. Had to do rear pads and rotors. Had to get a front brake caliper while we were at it. Had to get a used AC Delco battery. And a rear taillight assembly with the circuit panel for the bulbs. Other than that, since all those major repairs had been done, the only other thing that I've had to replace was a bulb for the headlight. That was it. The rest of this car, since like my last major update, which has almost been a year, like I said, the rest of this car has been pretty solid. We haven't had any other repair videos on anything with this car because of the fact that nothing has really broken yet. And it worries me. It most certainly does. Driving up here, I can just picture these transmission lines blowing out at any time. It's definitely on the list of things that have to be done to the car. But no, nothing has majorly broke or gave up yet. Really, since we started driving the car. Seriously, nothing has gone bad or anything since this car has been rebuilt. Nothing drivability wise anyway. It's been phenomenal. I think I just stepped in some goose poop. Alright, let's go cruise around some more. Now, surprisingly for the age of this car, it still drives really well. I did have a front end alignment done to it. I did a front end alignment to it when I first got it on the road, because I put the tires on it and it was gonna need the front end alignment. But the only thing that I didn't do was I didn't straighten the wheel when I did the alignment. So the wheel is slightly off to the left, which isn't that big a deal, but if I were to let go of the wheel, the car still drives perfectly straight, which is amazing. The struts and shocks all around at some point were replaced before I got the car, and those still seem to be holding up just fine. Just like one big sightseeing field trip, because I have no idea really where I'm going. I'm just taking roads with numbers that I recognize on them, and I'm just turning, and now we're in the middle of nowhere. I'm kidding. I know what direction I'm going. It's not like I'm completely lost, but I'm traveling down places that I've never really been to, so this is kind of fun. I'm just trying to rack up some miles, that's all. Just trying to rack up some miles on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah, I definitely stepped in goose poop. I'm getting kind of hungry now, but I don't really want to stop and eat until I get to this number. Got 30 some miles left to go. And I've been driving around for it's been a little over an hour now. So well, I think the further south I'm heading, I'm gonna end up running into the rain again. It's getting pretty dark again. Roads are, looks like it was raining here, so I wonder if I'm actually going along with it or if I'm gonna catch up to the rain at some point in time. We are under 30 miles at this point. So let's continue. This really has been a pretty interesting drive. You know, just being in the car, putting the music on, obviously turning it off for YouTube footage, but yeah, just driving around, you know, really hasn't been a bad drive. I don't really have anywhere important to go, which is kind of the crappy part about it, but it's been nice just being in the car and driving to random roads and stuff. So for those of you wondering what Ohio is like, I pretty much show you what Ohio is. It's a bunch of land and nothing. At least all the places that I've been traveling to. But we're heading back north now. So I can actually, I'm heading in the direction of home. So our drive is almost over. We are almost at our mileage. So it's almost done. So we're coming up on the Lordstown Motors plant. So this used to be, I think it might be down that way. Yeah, it's down there, but that's where they, it used to be the old GM plant where they used to make the Chevy Cruze. So it's now Lordstown Motors. They're supposed to be building what they call the Endurance pickup. It's supposed to be an all-electric truck, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Fisker or Fish, I don't remember what they, Fisher, I don't know, some other electric car company is gonna start producing a vehicle there also. So I guess that's one of the highlights of our tour. Oh, Altum Cells is here also. I think this is a new plant. I think they are making batteries for these electric vehicles, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I haven't been up here in a long time, so I didn't even realize that that was there. I do kind of feel like I took a wrong turn though. I didn't think I would be heading this far into this area, but I should still be heading in the right direction of home. See police lights up ahead on this road. up the hill there. And some other lights, so I wonder what I'm about to encounter. Guess we're gonna find out. Yeah, I wonder what this is all about. Oh man, we are in the home stretch. It was a broken down vehicle. There was a cop there, and they were, it was a tow truck there. So anyway, so yeah, we are in the home stretch, I believe. 10 miles left. We are at 448 on the odometer. I will be amazed if I was somehow able to time this out to where it would be perfectly landing on, you know, like if we were perfectly 10 miles from my house. I don't think we are. I think we are further than that, but we are getting close. So yeah, we got 10 miles to go on the clock, and yeah, then we'll head home, and I will probably just let it sit for the rest of the night, because this is the longest I've had this car on the road in one trip. And yeah, she's probably very tired at me, so we'll get it home and park it. So we got 9 miles left. 9 miles. So yeah, really, other than just whatever happened to the floor over here, there really hasn't been a whole lot of issues that have popped up in this car since it's been rebuilt. Stuff that's gonna affect the drivability. Maybe a couple of little, you know, inconvenient things, like the eBay radio that I bought over here. The display kind of fades out when it's been on for a long time, or if it's really hot in here. So is that the car's fault? Not necessarily, but so there's that. Occasionally the left turn signal doesn't turn itself off after a left-hand turn. That big a deal? No, not really. But it's just those little tiny things that might pop up here and there, you know, within the time that I've had this car. But nothing really serious has really happened. The engine still seems to be running in good health. We are going to be due for this oil change. About 129,000 is what I was going to do it at. So we're getting close to the oil change. Nothing else. The air conditioning still works. I'm really surprised about that. I thought for sure all of my refrigerant might have leaked out over the winter, but no. You know, the air is still cold from me recharging it last summer, so that's surprising. Seriously, there's really nothing else to really report on this car. We took care of a lot of the major things that needed to be done. I will mention transmission lines again. Yes, we do have to take care of that. I know we're definitely on borrowed time with those. That's really it. We have 4 miles left to go. Oh man, we are in the final stretch now, so we're down to 1 mile. Wow, it just changed on me. 1 mile. I am just well, I'm in residential neighborhoods now, unfortunately, so this is gonna be a long mile probably. But guys, you know, as we get ready to wrap up this little venture here, yeah, I just want to say that this car, you know, buying this $750 Grand Am really has been a remarkable decision. Not only to have as a project, but, you know, using this car as a car, you know, as a daily driver, with everything that this car has been through before I bought it. It is just amazing that it still continues to impress me every time I drive it. We've put like almost 100 miles on it just now in one day, and you know, it's been on the road for like a little over 2 hours now, I think. You know, not really been shut off since we left the lake. She rattles, but that's okay. I don't hear it half the time anyway because the radio is usually on. But This is it. Gonna hit our 10,000 mile mark. There we go, 10,000 miles in. Dang. Amazing. 10,000 miles in. What a car. What a car. This car has been phenomenal. All right, time to go home. 10,000 miles in. Oh, I'm so happy. That's an incredible milestone for a car like this, a project car. You know, something that, you know, I had to rebuild. So 10,000 miles on the engine since I rebuilt it, did the head gaskets. 10,000 miles since we, you know, obviously did the coolant change. You know, all of the stuff that entailed on actually getting the engine running back to proper health. 10,000 miles. That's awesome. All right. And of course, the rain's coming back just in time for it to go home and possibly flood again for whatever reason. There you go. You can relax now. Now, I know 10,000 miles doesn't seem like a big deal to like any other car, like the Honda or the Fiesta or whatnot, but like, because, you know, this car is a 2003 and obviously needed a lot of work and, you know, just all of that kind of stuff. It's 10,000 miles is a big deal. And, you know, it would have gotten there faster if it was like a daily driver, but it really isn't a daily driver. But yeah, so we got to 10,000 miles and nothing else seemed to have broken in the process, but we'll see how long her streak can last. And again, I got to figure out where that water came from. It's still really bizarre. I have a feeling it came in under the dash. I felt around up there and I didn't feel anything, but I don't know. I don't see any other weird watermarks anywhere else. So I'm not sure. Something to keep an eye on. All right. Wow, this is like the same kind of weather that we had the day that I brought it home. In the same spot. Only now it's running. And we just had it out for a very long time. All the bugs. Yeah, she's gonna need a nice washing. And I might have to replace this headlight at some point because this one's yellowing, which is why I replaced that one, but it's starting to be significantly different, so we might have to do that. I'll try to use my polish to see if we can, you know, take care of it. I can't wait to get the wheels all cleaned up again. Back wheels look good because those don't really use up a whole lot of, you know, stopping force. But yeah. Alright, she's been great. Love that car. So 10,000 miles in on the Grand Am. I'm done for today. That's pretty much all I gotta say. If you guys enjoyed this vlog, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Check out teespring.com/store/Mike's Vehicle Spotlight for all of your MVS and vlog merchandise. That's all that I've got. I'm gonna let this thing sit for the rest of the day. And I will see you guys next time. So thanks for watching and take care.